Dice Age is made possible thanks to our wonderful subscribers and especially to our patrons. We'd especially like to thank our living legend, Taxstick. Thank you again, and enjoy the show.
The Empire of Maca has existed for nearly 1,000 years. Founded and ruled by Avon the Main, the immortal Empress, it quickly expanded its borders thanks to the overwhelming power of its mages and the shrewd politics of its nobles. Now it has fully conquered the centre of the continent of Elmera, and although war has ended, peace still eludes its populace. As the Empire nears its first millennia, the signs of turmoil have become more frequent and apparent. Monsters are becoming more bold, nobles plot schemes of usurpation, and whispers of rebellion hang heavy in the slums. This gave rise to the adventurer. These strong individuals of all races and classes lend their might to the citizens of Maca to drive back monstrous incursions. There are even adventurers who perform deeds so noble that the people can see beyond their race to the hero that lies within. There are those who criticise these adventurers and claim they're nothing more than pawns used to advance the political machinations of nobles. Despite the immortal Empress herself making fewer and fewer appearances, there are those whose faith in the Empire remains unshaken. But the wise know that it only takes a few sparks to ignite the flames of change. Allow me to introduce you to these sparks. Welcome to Elmera.
Hello and welcome to Dice Age, a real play D&D podcast. My name is Jack and I am the Dungeon Master, and with me as always are our wonderful heroes. Would you all mind going around and introducing yourselves?
Hello, I'm AJ and I am playing Edgar, the half-elf blood hunter.
I'm Alice Rose. I play Tiana Polokrovka, the elven sorceress.
Hello, I'm Mitchell and I play Ellacreek, the human rogue.
Hey, this is Zach. I'm going to be playing Toros, your tiefling paladin.
Hello, this is Trey, and I'm playing Oberon Perseus Maximus Germanius Cornelius Alexander Claudius II, your drow fighter.
Wonderful. So we had a lot of shit happen yesterday, so we should probably get a good recap going. But wait, we were also supposed to something about haikus or something like that?
Yeah.
Man.
So the odd gear shit that happened. I was able to email him back, and he gave me some info. He's willing to video conference with us right now.
Okay.
I think we should just get that done. This is the only time that seemed to work for his schedule. We can get the recap done later.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I think
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, so just give me a sec. Let me set this up for us. Hello? Is this on? Sorry, Wi-Fi is real bad these days. What's up, guys? Still waiting on that college credit.
We thought you got killed by Mockin' PD.
Oh, that. Yeah, I kind of faked my death to get out of school and stuff. Sorry.
I'm sorry, you did what?
Ah, jeez, it's my mom's. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I'd give Billy and Pumpernickel, you faked your death again? That's it. You're grounded. You're in the labyrinth again.
Oh, Mom, please no. Samantha's still in there.
Go now. Who the heck are you? Are you all bad influences on my son?
Oh, we're Dice Age, ma'am. Odgir worked for us for a bit. We were hoping actually to talk to him.
Oh, Dice Age. Odd told me about that show. Crazy stuff going on. I'm Titus. This is Lenora. We're Oddgear's parents. Boy, T, that testimony sure was powerful. Had Richmond shaking in his boots.
Thanks, Mr. Pumpernickel. But could we talk to Odgir?
After he escaped from a ceaseless, never-ending labyrinth.
Oh gosh, that thing's a real piece of work. Skeleton cleanup is a real pain. Golly, you had me real nervous when Essa's testimony almost got thrown out. Good thing the poison came up.
Yeah, me too. But thanks to Hardin the Alchemist as well, I think we had it in hand.
Aw, shucks. But you all won! And when Richmond lashed out and said the Empress wasn't really there and got counterspelled, I almost lost it.
The immortal Empress killed him with the power word kill, and we are now tasked with finding the heir. Can we stop recapping? That's AJ's job. We really need to talk to Oddgear.
Hey, it looks like someone is joining this call somehow.
Well. Hello, Dice Age. It's your old friend, Agent O'Biddies. Apologies, Mr. and Mrs. Pumpernickel, but I have taken your son hostage.
I will kick your ass if you don't give him back.
Oh, don't worry, he'll return. If Dice Age is willing to meet in person. Kudos for now.
Well,
That's
Does anybody else get weird deja vu anytime they hear the old babies talk? Is it
Yeah, like
just
sounds like someone.
so I guess, sorry for Oddgear, but I don't know that we can like fulfill that whole situation. You know,
I mean,
Are you talking about like the meeting in person or the college credit?
both.
Oh,
Also, he
Uh,
said meet him in person, but he never said where.
And it's also a thing like it's enough trouble to get the 6 of us to meet up in person.
Yeah, the
So-
schedule.
Wait.
Yeah.
Think about it. It could be an excuse for us all to meet up again.
That's true. That's a good point. Actually, you know what? That's how we'll do it. We'll just make a trip out of it.
Here we go.
Do we just want to do the last day to get Oddgear, then bring him back with us as we're done?
Yeah, why not?
We do all the side quests before completing the main quest.
Absolutely. But in the meantime, I guess we should just return to the world of Elmera.
Oh, right, that.
All right, so we'll say it's the day after the trial. You all are getting ready to head off to Ellacreek again. This time in search of the heir to Lord Richmond. His nephew goes by the name of
Toros.
Hold up my dictionary.
Zorro.
Zoros. Toros, but he's actually good.
Toros
Hold up.
without the drama.
No, his name is Micah Stowen. So you all I imagine you all meet up getting ready to go. So you would know that you guys Oberon, you would remember that you guys have probably about a week before Aileda's
Aelida.
group will be heading off to Ellacreek as well.
And how long does it usually take us to get there? Did we say like a few days?
It is.
No.
Or like it was like before they set out, not before they get there, before they set out to go.
It was when you first heard from her. It was going to be 2 to 3 weeks,
And it's been about
it's been about a week since. So
2 weeks at most, a week at worst.
yeah.
I'm saying how long does it take us to get to Ellacreek?
Oh, my bad. It takes close to around 3 to 4 days to get there, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
All right.
Because it's around a 60-mile journey. So if you go at a normal travel pace, that should be about 3 days.
Nice.
Before we head out, could I find out how much a bag of holding would cost us?
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Also, keep in mind, Essa, you still have that sending.
Oh,
You
yeah.
still have that.
Mm-hmm. And I have the other one.
Oh wait, I forgot to level up Wound.
Yep.
Yay!
Boom, level up.
Hold up.
Do you all rent or purchase horses, or are you gonna go on foot?
60 miles isn't terrible.
It's not bad.
Last time we did that, we traveled on foot when we did the graduation. But So
All right. Yeah. So give me a just give me a little bit of either an Arcana or an Investigation check to see if you can track down a bag of holding.
I will
with him.
assist. I'll say I can assist because I'll help him with that.
Can I assist you?
Yeah, I have a
To
plus
me with
10.
Arcana.
Yeah. I'll let y'all do that. I'm not as good as those.
Yeah.
19? Yeah, you can track down a magic vendor who is able to. He's offering a bag of holding for an asking price of 100 gold.
Ooh.
We could split it 5 ways.
We do have
20
some
each.
party loot.
We do?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it because we never distributed the first time that Lady Ward paid us.
We
Yeah,
have
I will.
225. We have 225 in
Um,
party loot, and we each got 60.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Also,
am I-
Jack, can you make a quick party loot folder for
Yes.
us?
I have a thing where I'm keeping track of it, but yeah, we can make a public.
Okay,
one.
that would just help because like multiple
Yeah,
people
yeah.
could look at
Yeah.
it.
We
It'll be
have
all in that
25
25.
rations and 275 gold.
If we
To
miss
be more
20
precise, 274 gold and 7 silver.
All right. I just made a handout in Roll20 called Party Inventory for you guys.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So if we all chip in
I-
like 25, we could probably get it. Right? We should be able to get it.
20.
Probably.
If everyone does
20,
20
yes,
each.
20.
Yeah.
I don't math good.
I think it's worth it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jack,
I'll
also because Woon has gotten his extra attack, now use weapons like we discussed.
Fucking
Oh,
building a
what now?
sword itself.
What now?
Yeah. If you want to try to track down that item or find out.
Oh,
I'll try to track that down, but also I'd just look for maybe like a greatsword that would be roughly in the size.
Yeah.
Like maybe not the magic one, but just like maybe a larger one used by like a Goliath or somebody of.
Yeah,
Great
definitely. In that case,
That's fine.
I'm making Sith out here.
So we're all tossing in 20 for a party bag of
Yeah.
holding.
Yeah, I'll toss in.
All right.
Yep.
T, do you want to hold on to it?
Sure.
all right. So a normal greatsword costs about 50 gold.
Okay.
Because this is a special greatsword for an Elmera Mastiff to use, it'll be. We'll bump that up to 75 gold.
Can I try and haggle it down?
Yeah, give me a persuasion check.
You sure you don't want to bring your best buddy?
$15. I'll say you can haggle that down to a.
Can I haggle it down to 60?
I was going to say to 65.
65 works. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. I'll pay that.
All
So just act as a normal 2d6
Yep.
greatsword. The same as his bite attack.
But it's cooler because it's a sword.
Yeah.
And it does also come with like a sheath that you can attach to the saddle that you have with him, like into his armor.
Mm-hmm.
My
Gotcha.
man made fucking Sith.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
All right.
I
So
might look around for some healing potions before we go.
sure, yeah, you can head off to an alchemist. Let's see. For some healing potions, you'll be able to. You can buy regular healing potions at 10 gold each, or and then each rarity above that will be an additional increase by a factor of 10. So
Cool.
so greater is after regular.
That
Greater,
goes
superior,
regular,
right?
greater,
Superior.
superior, and supreme.
So yeah, so regular is 10, greater is 100, superior is 100, supreme is 1,000 gold.
Okay. In that case, I will grab with party funds for party potions. I will grab 4 regulars.
Okay. All right. Any
One-
other
one-
preparations?
One more fun shopping thing. I would like to trade in my light crossbow for a heavy crossbow.
Okay. Yeah, you can sell the light crossbow. You can trade in the light crossbow. They'll count that as 20 gold towards a heavy crossbow, so you'll only owe 30.
Cool.
All right. Any other preparation?
I think we've got plenty of rations and stuff like that, so I think we're good.
All right. You all set off towards Ellacreek. First two days of journey are fairly uneventful. And then during the final day, as you're approaching the outskirts of the city, moving through the forested area, what's everyone's? Is anyone making like a perception check as you're going along?
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I'll keep an eye out.
Get out.
Mm-hmm.
6, damn.
19, baby.
13. You have no advantage. Ass.
13, 11, 7,
19,
7, fuck.
6.
19 from Zach.
19
Yeah.
from Zach. Okay.
I'm assuming you have something lined up. Do we want to do a funny little around the campfire talk after whatever this would be, as like Toros would bring up something,
You
on
would probably
Toros
bring up
these
towards
guys?
the beginning of the
This
trip, right?
this would be something
Yeah.
I imagine Taurus would, because like the third day is when you guys would be arriving in Ellacreek.
Yeah,
So I
exact-
guess
okay.
the night of the second day would be when you would.
Yeah, he
wanna
wouldn't
have
do. He's really trying to piece together what he's gonna say. He wouldn't say it like right before they left or anything. It would have been like one of the nights of them kind of heading out. But I know we're kind of prepping something here, so I don't want to just like, oh, tangent.
Mm-hmm. No.
I'd say
you,
if
you,
we-
you can go ahead and
to
do
you.
this. That's fine.
Yeah. While you're prepping that, Toros, there's one of the nights Toros would have kind of been keeping by the campfire. Like right before everyone kind of like hunkering down. It's kind of late night. He's kind of doing his usual rounds of sharpening his sword, and he kind of like takes a deep breath in and like make sure everyone's kind of like near as. Before we get to Ellacreek, everyone, I do want to make sure that we are all on the same page of information.
He, knowing what's coming, is gonna like go over to him and put a hand on his shoulder for support.
When I was younger, I grew up in Ellacreek. It is where I lived when I was younger, before the orphanage, before I lived in the city. I ran away years ago when I began looking like you see now. The big thing of this, though, is that my family's name was stolen. It was what my mother and father's last name was, and what mine was. I did not know anyone named Penelope or a Richmond. I didn't know anyone that would have been close to my family besides basic villagers. I don't know what's going on there with this, but somewhere something is connected to me, and I'm a bit nervous, but I want you all to know.
This everyone's just going to like quickly go into thinking. Seems like almost too much. All right, that got out right there.
Yep,
Yeah.
that very end, yep.
It seems like almost too much of a coincidence.
That's my thoughts exactly, and why I'm worried.
When we have known about tiefling family.
Did he? Is that him? Is that you asking in character or?
Yeah, that's in character. He's like, we went to Ellacreek. Would we
yeah.
not know
Oh,
if there was like a
okay.
tiefling family there?
He kind of clears his throat and shakes his head. Tieflings aren't like others. We don't normally come from other tieflings. I have never looked much into it, but I have heard other stories and read stuff. Tieflings become like this at a certain time. It's different for some. Some it's usually around younger ages. I didn't always look like this. I once looked human. And oops, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry, this was.
And when I reached a certain age, my skin began to turn blue, and I grew these horns. And he kind of pulls off one of his boots, and you see this kind of hooved foot. These appeared. When it happened, my parents, they would spend days, hours bickering and yelling and screaming at each other about deals with devils and affairs with demons, blaming each other for why I looked like I did. Never really in front of me, but we lived in a small house. So one day I just decided to remove a variable from the equation and I left. You see he's kind of like averted gazes from everyone at this point as he's kind of like just looking at his gauntlets.
Is that ringing any bells that like tieflings normally like just manifest? Is that something any of us have heard of?
I mean, I'm not familiar. I don't know how familiar any of you all are with like tieflings in general, but that is generally how things go with tieflings. It's like if someone is a tiefling, you know, it's more likely for their offspring to be looking like tieflings like from the start, but it is very possible that like a child will look like a normal child of whatever race their parents are, and then just especially around like puberty begin manifesting tiefling like traits and before finally showing into their full form.
Gotcha.
How long ago was this, Toros?
Years. I was much younger. I was
Exactly how do you remember? Like how many? Like are we talking years as in 5 years ago, or years as in 10+ years ago?
7, 5. I don't know if we said an exact age, but
So I as far as I remember, you were you left around like closer to 10 years ago,
okay.
if not more.
So
Yeah.
right around the time when Richard's sister got to Ellacreek.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dots are slowly starting to connect from Oberon's like mind, and like it's a possibility that Richmond's sister, Mary, should anything have happened to your birth parents, maybe got in with your family, and that's how the heir came about.
Very plausible.
I think you know this very well, Toros, but I think we need to say it out loud. You may meet your parents again through this.
I'm well aware.
Are you okay
I can
with that?
do it. I will be fine. I'm gonna roll a deception check.
I was going to say, can I just insight him for the general
Yeah,
story itself?
yeah.
Not so much like if
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
going to be okay. Just like Oberon wants to know, like, is he telling us everything about from the story?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Oh,
Oh, that's a 29 on the insight.
you can tell that he is telling as much as he knows. You easily, like, you can, like, he's not even hiding a lot of it right now. He's actually showing a lot of emotion to you guys, but like, you can see even further past what he's showing of. You can see that, like, inside him, like, it's even more than how he usually builds up his walls. You just see fear. Like, you can tell he's scared. Like, he doesn't know what's going to happen, and he's very scared about it. But he's trying to show the fact of, like, yeah, I know I'm vulnerable. This is not going to be great, but like, I can handle it. But you can easily tell, like, he's going to try and handle it, but like, a large portion of his brain right now is terrified of what's going to happen.
He's Drax right now. I can take it. He really can.
He can't. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oberon kind of just like hangs his head down for a second. Just, it's good that you told us. Thanks.
I'm sorry I didn't tell any of you sooner. He, like, you know, when he says it, he kind of glances over to T. I've tried to run away from my past for a while because it's just something I didn't want to return to. And I wanted it to be something else, but
Is
Here
there
we
a
are.
chance they could recognize you?
they saw me when I looked like this, so they watched me turn most of the way. So if they see me, granted I was younger and smaller, but there's a good chance they will.
Did you look like your parents?
Vaguely. Sometimes, when I was, before I looked like this, I resembled them much more. I just gotta double check something real quick. Jack messaged me something about this.
Oh,
We
fun.
had talked about something like
Yeah.
this a little bit, but I think we kind of came to a very
Yeah.
inconclusive.
You have your mother's
He's trying to
eyes.
He's trying to
You
figure out
have-
if
you-
like
you're,
if they could like clock his parents across the room.
Yeah,
you're as horny as your father.
before I changed, I mean, I was sometimes told that I resemble them. I have my father's traits or my mother's, but I don't remember well enough. I never paid attention, I guess.
She'll squeeze his shoulder.
All right.
All right.
Any other discussion?
At some point, probably during the first night, Edgar's gonna go to Essa before they go back. Have you talked to Richmond's wives?
Not since the last time when you were there.
You might want to do that. I guess do they know what happened?
Sounds like, and they may. I can try tonight, see before we go to bed, see if I get anything. I'd 100% guarantee.
I will say, Essa, your sleep lately has been very undisturbed. Especially like the night after the trial, like you got a very restful, like one of the first fully restful nights of sleep that you've had in a very long time.
Essa goes, I'm a bit afraid that after Richmond died, they may have been able to rest, so I might not be able to communicate with them anymore.
Oh.
But I can try.
Doesn't hurt. If you need help, I'm here.
Yeah, and then I'll pull out the mediums channel and I'll try to reach out to any of the wives.
Yeah. it does react, and you are able to get in contact once again with
Sophia.
Zofia, and she looks at you with a very like serene look on her face. The ligature marks that you noticed when you first channeled her are gone. The like tortured expression on her face is one has changed it to one of serenity, and she says, "Justice was brought to the man who did this to us. We are all so thankful for you in carrying out the vengeance we needed."
I did make a promise. But before you can rest once more, I need one last thing from you, if you would be willing.
Of course.
Richmond's sister. What do you know about her?
She had already left by the time that I was married to Richmond, but from what I know, she and Richmond were quite close until she abandoned the city. Richmond had a obsession with his sister that would come up from time to time. You know, she was someone that he had a lot of trouble accepting that he could not control anymore.
Would you possibly know maybe what happened to her after she left? If Richmond left any kind of notes on him trailing her, if you kind of figured out what she was doing?
I know that he used his agents to try to find her. If you're able to get in touch with them or know anything that they any information from them, you may be able to find more information there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say at that, you will remember the notebook that Hart gave you all that's written in the Goliath language that was supposed to be a written record of all the things that they had done for Richmond.
Yes. Understood. Thank you. I hope you can rest easy now.
Absolutely.
No, end the communication.
All right.
Stone falls back in my hand. I look back at Edgar and go, well, the journal Hart gave us, if we can find a way to either learn the language or translate it, we might be able to figure out something. But I don't know if we have the time before we even reach Ellacreek to do that.
That could be tough. Man, would have been nice to ask Hart about that.
I have the sending stone. I can reach out to her, I think.
Well, the sending stone only connects
Sending
to...
stone connects to the other sending stone, so
Gotcha.
you have it and T has the other.
Gotcha, thank you.
Mhm.
If real quick other thing, if they're gone, do you still have your ghost shit?
Well, I managed to connect to Zofia, so I don't know if they're fully gone. Do I still feel like I have my ghostly abilities?
Yeah, you do. It's something where you're kind of realizing that, like, when you were more directly connected to the wives of Richmond, it was like very much that they were the source of your like ghostly wail and things like that. But especially with having coming into contact with this channel, like opening yourself up to more of your medium abilities, it's like it's not. There are other spirits within the ether that you are able to channel, not just the wives of Richmond now. So you can there are other spirits available that you can attempt to contact or use as a sort of anchor for your abilities at this point.
I think as long as I have this channel, and as long as I have my medium abilities, I think the powers stay.
There you go.
This is
Hey, you're actually free.
I don't know how to feel, honestly. Have been free in many years. Really free.
I guess you get to decide how you feel.
That'd be a first. Thank you again for sticking by me and T through all of this. This could have potentially been a death sentence for all of us.
I feel like that's been a lot since we've all gotten together, and I feel like that's going to continue to be the case.
Considering we're heading into, probably.
For a while, I wasn't sure how much we could trust you, Asa. I think you knew that, but I'm glad to know you've got my back.
Yep, of course.
All right. So moving ahead to the third day of travel, you all are walking along. I imagine none of you're not moving in a stealthy pace if you're moving at normal travel pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
wait, Jack, could Woon roll a perception check?
Yeah. Okay. So as you guys are moving along, Woon will start to like perk up his ears and like look around and start sniffing. At the same time, Toros, you'll like hear some crunching a few feet, like about 15, 20 feet away. It sounds like less like animals moving through and more something heavier.
Or it's kind of like does like a very silent motion. Like he also hears like Wound kind of growl, and he knows that he kind of does like a silent like kind of like stop. He kind of like reaches up slowly and kind of like puts his hand on his sword as he kind of like looks around as he stops in his spot.
Mm-hmm. So, Taurus, what you see as you look over in that direction, you see several goblins looking around. Like they seem to have noticed you as well. They all are carrying bows, and along with them are also a couple of bugbears, larger, still goblinoid, but more around like human-sized as opposed to more halfling or dwarf-sized like most goblins are. They're a lot hairier as well. What's especially surprising, though, is that you see some creatures along with them that are more... They have like very slick, smooth skin and very bright, colorful patterns. And they have like dark eyes, and they have a very frog-like appearance to them.
Yeah.
Any of you may recognize these creatures as grung. What is so surprising, though, is that grung are monstrous creatures that are native to the Fledaean jungle, which is far to the west of the continent, as opposed to where you all are at the very southern end. It might not be as surprising to see bullywugs, as they are from the wetlands of Nantua, which is the southern region south of the Bogaik Mountains. But seeing grung is definitely a little out of place in this region.
They look like they're being hostilely hunting us, or are they like just like keeping an eye on us?
You look at them, you see that one of them is like holding like a rabbit that has an arrow sticking out of it. And like your parties kind of like see each other and both just stop at the same time as you notice each other, and then just like the monsters look to each other, and
Toros kind of side glances Edgar, and he slowly lowers his hand off his sword.
let me see.
I'd say Oberon's hand is still like not like threateningly on the standard, but it's still like right on the standard.
We look around, and at the back, Oberon's just like flaying through a bunch of.
I've already gone through 4 goblins at this point.
One of the goblins is going to make a cheeky little roll real quick. Okay. And so as they look at amongst each other, one of the bugbears finally like steps forward and says, "We're just out hunting. We don't want any trouble."
Neither do we. We're just passing through.
All right. So we can just act like we didn't see each other and we're all good.
Or it's kind of
here for us.
No.
Fortunately, no.
Caution. A word of caution. There are people coming for folks like you.
They won't show the same.
Sorry, say that again, Trey.
And they won't show the same courtesy.
Right. Well, we'll keep that in mind.
May I just have a quick moment to talk to any of the goblins in your group? Put my weapons down, everything. I just want to ask a quick question and then we're done.
The bugbear like looks around and then says, "I'm the leader of this hunting party. If you need to talk to someone, you can talk to me."
Were any of them around Fort Durgan?
With that, like very clearly, like hackles are starting to raise on the goblins, especially, but like the grung and the bugbears, like their grips on their weapons kind of like tighten up a bit, and they're just like, "What's the fort got to do with this?"
If like they look like they're like they're not like
it's not like they're ready to attack. It's just like
they're
like sore subject. You brought up a sore subject kind of thing.
Yeah, at that point, Oberon's like again not like that, but he's definitely going to like very deliberately like seeing this. His hand's going to go to like the strap where Wound's like sword is on the side, not like doing anything, but like almost like a hey.
Mm-hmm.
There were rumors that we've heard that may have come out from there that may have caught a lot of eyes of people who may not take kindly to seeing you all here. We just want to make sure that if anyone was in there, that they didn't talk to anyone from the outside world. That may get more eyes on you lot and the fort.
And that the bugbear is going to kind of smirk and say, "Oh, I don't think you know who we actually are. We came here because of what happened at the fort." He's going to like look to the others and say, "You don't seem as hostile as most Empire folks are. So I might as well let you know. Ellacreek's currently being visited by us. We're looking to extend an agreement with the city."
Oberon like looks like he wants to say something.
I'm not someone who's in charge of all that. I'm just in charge of this hunting group. If you want, I could take you to the one who's in charge of all this.
I'm gonna look over to the group. Seems like it might not be as easy in Ellacreek as we thought.
Might be best if we go visit this person just to see.
I think so.
We're not
Smart.
here for the.
We are, yeah. We
kind
are
of have-
here on different business. And yeah, he kind of motions to Oberon. I feel like they kind of actually talk at the same time.
We're here for something else, something that may be a bit more time sensitive.
How occupied is the city with your leader and your group?
It's not occupied. We're not an invading force.
I don't know. I mean, how busy is the city in dealing with you all?
How are
Well-
your connections going?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a good amount of folks who are willing to work with us, but it's not all settled just yet. We've got a little encampment set out in the outskirts of the forest. We have our people meet with their people every now and then to try to negotiate trades and things.
Are there any members of the village who are headlining discussions?
Yeah, there's a woman there who's been really showing that she really does want to work with us. Her name's Malika Aros.
I'm gonna look at Toros.
Hey, Toros.
No.
Oh, I don't even know what Taurus feels about that. Oh, I don't know what Taurus feels about that.
After that,
I don't even have to roll. Taurus goes quiet.
while Toros is like going through like 50 shades of fucked up, Oberon is. Who is your current?
It didn't quite catch that.
Okay.
Who is your current leader? All right, give me one.
He says, the one heading our negotiations is planning for Mora.
Can you spell that,
Wait.
please?
Yeah.
Wait, what's the last name?
Femora? Yeah, so it's spelled Femura.
What's the first name? Can you spell that?
Planin, Planin.
Got it. Huh.
Hey, can I get a quick little history check from my friend Edgar over there?
Do I get advantage because this is kind of?
You got advantage. You got advantage.
Oh.
Oh, no advantage on that. Huh?
Try that advantage.
Rolled again.
Even worse!
There we go.
Oh,
That's that
my
nat
God.
20. So Edgar, you recognize that naming convention as something that your mom would have taught you about the names of Asori.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
A first name associated with a geographical formation and a family name associated with a bone.
Mhm.
Wait, what's wood related to then?
It's a human name.
I know. I was
Yeah.
joking.
Fuck.
Do I see this on do I see this on Edgar's face, like the oh fuck realization?
Yo, this fucking bugbear just watched half our squad just shamble.
Yeah, this bugbear's just
Turn to
dropping
sh-
bombs one after another. Next he's going to be like, and I know who you are, Tatiana.
Tyler Crone's gun. He like does a bow.
Does Edgar like show it on his face, or does he try to?
Does he play it
hide
cool?
I think it's taking Edgar a while to connect all the dots, and he's just like, huh.
Well, you may want to inform them that due to events, the Empire has taken a much closer scrutiny of Ellacreek.
I'll let him know.
Where are they on the outskirts of town? If I just want him to point direction.
Yeah, he'll point a direction that you could walk towards, that you'd eventually find them in. He says, but be careful if you head over there looking to cause trouble. There's enough people there that'll be able to put that down. We're not having another situation like Durgan.
Let's hope not.
With that, he'll usher his group along, giving you all a very wide berth as they continue their hunt through the forest.
Think that was a mixed success?
I'd say that.
Has Edgar shared with the rest of the group
Not
his reasons
just-
for wanting to go to Ellacreek?
I think so. Yeah,
me-
we talked about it before. No, I brought it up with the group.
Yeah, everybody.
We were at Chevron.
You know.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
If that is the name of their leader, that's as sorry as a name could get.
that's not
Great.
good.
Great and terrible.
Great.
Great if for Edgar, very, very bad for almost everybody else.
Very bad for. I don't know what they're thinking, being this close.
I hope you know, if we had not come here and the other group had,
The other group sounds like they would have gotten killed.
yes, and where do you think that leads?
I know.
high
I'm
rank-
just saying. To have the confidence to be right here, right now.
that either shows very, very well fortified or very, very stupid.
We're
Maybe a
pretty
mixture.
near the village.
We're less than a day out.
Yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
it'll just be a few hours before you get to
Okay.
Ellacreek.
3 of travel.
Yeah.
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 And this is then 2 days away from Avon that
Mhm.
we're meeting this force.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
There are
it's
hundreds.
No, I will
They're
say
not
this is also
near, but
Ellacreek is a very as far as the Empire is concerned, a very remote location. It's not a major trade area. It's not a major hub.
yeah, the
It's-
only reason that Alita had known was because her family deals with a lot of trade routes going through lesser known places.
Mhm. And probably also has dealings with Nantua and stuff like that,
Yeah.
going through the Bogaig Mountains. And this is,
Mhm.
if you're going through the Bogaig Mountains, Ellacreek is a good enough place as a pit stop before crossing.
Mhm.
I just need to let you all know if things aren't going up Ship's Creek immediately with Micah. I'm gonna go talk to them.
If you'd like backup, you know I'm with you.
I might have a way to get more information on the situation with this person, Edgar.
How so?
That connection that was brought up, I knew her from the village. Jack, you sneaky snake, you sneaky son of a bitch! I saw it coming in. It still blew up Toros's brain.
Fake.
He actually starts to fumble over his words. We could try talking to her. Maybe.
I want to know how this is happening, that they're willing to negotiate with that group too. We saw the sentiment towards the goblins possibly being in the fort. This is a big shift.
is just, Oberon's still like just like frantically just like something about this just isn't making sense. Why choose to set up so close to the capital, especially if Emisori is the one streamlining their efforts? They realize that the second the other group comes, should they and like he kind of like stops himself for a second, should it have gone bad, they realize that this would have been very swiftly turned from a new adventuring mission to seasoned adventurers coming.
Paladins.
Yeah.
This is
I
what
don't
we're
know.
sent out to do.
This has disaster written all over for both parties.
Yeah.
We need to find the heir first.
Yes.
Get them out safely.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys gonna head into the village?
Yeah.
All right. So you all begin heading into the village. As you're approaching, you do see, the usual kind of hustle and bustle of a village. There's a lot of people out working their farms, planting crops, tending to them. I'd say, like, because now it's about it's the sort of getting to the end of the last frost is already passed, and it's about time to start sowing seeds and getting things ready. So like this is like the work season right now, and uh, uh, additionally, you do as you're coming in, you see like there is a kind of crowd gathered in front of a large central building, and it's a bunch of people like looking over at like what appears to be a kind of bulletin board in front of the building. This may be like some sort of. It seems like Toros, you would recognize this as like this is kind of the temple of the village, and like the bulletin board is where people will post like announcements that are meant for the entire village to see. And on it, if anyone tries to get closer and see what's going on, there is a announcement of a new mayoral campaign, and that a certain woman has decided to throw her name into the race against Marcus Toldrin.
Who, Jack?
Why? It's
Who could that possibly be?
Malika Aros.
Who could have seen this coming?
Malika Aros is
Man,
running
that
for
hit
mayor.
piece from like episode 3 or whatever. Really did.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Troll's kind of like, it has like kind of absentmindedly kind of like walk to the board just to kind of like see what's going on. Much like the last time you were here, you kind of see him almost kind of like fade out mentally as he kind of looks around, but you see him kind of just like walk to the board.
Like written
If he-
under Malika's announcement of her candidacy is also like just her saying like a platform of like equality and fairness for all people.
As Toros is like just sitting there, kind of like, Oberon's going to kind of go up and like gently, like, but firmly, like nudge him
Yeah.
a bit and just, do you know where your old house is?
He kind of gives a nod, and he's kind of like keeping his eyes on the board, like, "Oh boy, look at all these papers! Please don't look at Oberon. I'm scared." And he's kind of like nods. I know the way, of course.
Yeah. Toros, you lead the group to your old home.
Be more than like 5 feet away from Toros.
Mm-hmm. As you approach your home, you see that like not much activity going on inside. Like there's no one sitting outside of the house. It's you can see like some lights inside, like the chimney is smoking, so like obviously the fireplace is lit.
He's like, who wants to go knock on the door?
I will.
All right, Oberon, you go and knock on the door. And the door opens to reveal a young half-elf child standing there. He looks like he can't be much older than 8 or 9. And he looks at you all and like nods and says, well, I suppose that you have you're here from Lady Ward, is that right?
Oberon like instinctively goes to go like yes, but then pauses, and then is like, and you would be.
I am. I'm Micah Stowen. I'm the heir to the Richmond title.
Can I insight this kid? Just vibe check this fucking kid.
Vibe check this child, absolutely.
Natural 20.
Natural 20
all around. God.
Natural 20.
Oh my god! Everybody
Jesus Christ.
got a 21 or higher.
Toros has
No
actually
natural
turned
20.
himself around.
Mm-hmm.
No
Toros is just like
21.
Toros is
Yeah,
just like I'm just
24.
not going to look at this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you all with your over 20 insight checks are like, yeah, this kid, like, very clearly a young kid, is not lying. Definitely carries himself with like this strange, like, noble attitude despite his ancestry being a half elf, but and his age, but like it's very much seems like he's a kid, but he's been trained to act like this. Like he needs to be noble.
Ward said she was training him.
Yeah. Oh, this is just getting so many more layers of distrust toward like as this goes. I see. And yes. Where are your parents?
He says, my mother passed away shortly after I was born, but my father is in his bed at the moment. He took ill recently.
Eyes are going to go over the Toros for a second.
Toros legitimately, like, no joke, has his back turned. He's trying to make it look like he's, like, keeping watch for the team. Like, he's not moved away. He's keeping close, but he's very obviously not looking at the building or anything. But, like, he's kind of just like, oh, boy, look at all that cool stuff.
And at this point, Oberon just, may we enter?
You may. And he steps aside to let you in, and then says,
I'll pat Wound to, like, let him know to stay and to watch outside.
Okay. And he'll say, I'm sorry, but I don't have too many things in the ways of food and the like, but I can arrange something if you're all hungry from your travel.
I think we'll be okay.
All right. In that case, let me go tell my father who all has come. And he leaves and heads to a room in the back of the house.
Oh, Toros takes his time getting in this building. Is everyone walking in or like?
Oh,
T
Oberon's
will
already
stick by
in.
Toros. T is sticking by Toros however long he takes.
He just takes his time walking in the building. You see him like almost like not want to go in. Like he gets to the doorway, like the door's open, and he kind of like tenses up and like freezes. And he like pushes himself to get in the building.
Mm-hmm.
There's a force field keeping me from entering the building, guys.
Wall of force! Oh no! I guess I just don't go in.
Mhm.
It only affects depressed tieflings. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? What's it look like in there, Jack? Is it familiar?
Oh yeah,
Or
no, this is your home. There's like the furnishings and decorations that you remember seeing when you were growing up. However, you do notice that there is like a wicker rocking chair next to the fireplace that noticeably does not have your mother's shawl wrapped around it.
I was kind of like leans over to tease. Please make sure I don't puke. And kind of slowly makes his way in back of the crowd.
Mm-hmm. So as you all like file in, eventually you do hear the door open back up from that other room, and like kind of like with a very like unsure step, you hear a man walking in along with Micah, and he stands there. He's a human, fairly tall, very much like older looking, and definitely like kind of does look like his cheeks are kind of hollow and like he looks like he's been sweating. Definitely is like coming back from like a really nasty fever.
Does this perhaps look like someone who had been until recently suffering from wind rot?
No, actually.
Okay.
This was not.
No magic cancer for you.
No. He doesn't look like he was suffering the same condition as Madame Chevre. It seems like it just was like a really nasty flu or something like that.
You said he's recovering?
Yeah, he's in recovery. And he looks around at you all. Toros, you are looking at the face of your father.
He just freaked.
Yeah.
He looks at you all and then sees you, Toros, and purposely like looks back to Oberon and just says, I understand you're here to take Micah over to the capital. That's where he's going to be instated as a true noble. Is that right?
Yes.
Can I have something from you so that I know you're not actually here to try to kill him?
Uh-oh.
You all would have been given a letter from Lady Ward, like a letter of introduction.
I think Toros has it. I think Toros.
I think Taurus specifically has it.
T will take the letter out of Taurus's back pocket and hand it over.
I like how that was a joke and Alice just made it canon.
So yeah, he takes the letter from T, examines the wax seal, opens the letter, reads through it, and just says, "All right, when are you guys leaving?"
Well, as soon as possible.
Probably for the best.
Likely.
We
Especially
heard
the
from
direction.
Ward that Richmond's dead, so we don't have to really worry about him getting involved anymore, but I imagine that some people won't be too happy with a half-elf being a noble.
No, that's why we were assigned to deliver your son and ensure he arrives safely.
Right. So, and he just like kind of looks over you all again and just says, you mind giving me are you going to head out tonight or when?
What time is it, Jack?
It's kind of like the middle of the day right now, leaning towards the evening.
Like 4 or 5 p.m. kind
Yeah.
of?
We may stay a night to recuperate and prepare.
No longer, though. We will most likely be gone by tomorrow evening.
All right. Nice enough of you to give me some final day with my son, I guess. And he nods and just he says, like, you'll forgive me, I can't be a good host. I'm still dealing with this. And he says, like, gesturing to, like, his body. Like, he's in a very, like, sweat-soaked tunic. Like, very clearly, like, hasn't, like, changed much lately and all that. And he just says, be careful with them,
Of course.
Yeah.
And you get your rest, sir.
All right. And he's gonna, like, turn and start walking back into his room. Mike is still, like, will, like, help him get back into his room and all that.
T grabs Toros' hand.
Toros' eyes haven't left. Like, it's, believe it or not, actually haven't left his father this whole time. But, like, the man looks like, you've seen this man get shish kebabbed by pikes, and this man looks beaten down, and he doesn't even know why.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, team. Guess I'm gonna go sit outside. Toros is gonna
go to.
That is in character. He says that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do what you need. I'm gonna go sit outside.
I'll give him his space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he kind of he's feeling a lot of emotions. He doesn't mean to, but he almost like kind of like punches the door open.
Mm-hmm.
And just like
smacks Wound in the face, like
oh no. He's just gonna go sit out in the front yard and he literally just sits down on the ground. He pulls off his boots and just sits down.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, Micah will come back out of the room and just say to you all, sorry, we don't really have the space to accommodate you all, but the inn in town should be able to provide lodgings for the night.
We'll find space.
Mm-hmm. I'll get to work packing my things and be ready to leave tomorrow.
Just in case, T, would you mind giving
Oh, sure.
a setting stone for the night?
Mm-hmm.
I'll pass it over. If you need us, we're a scream away.
I understand. I appreciate that. I'll be sure to notify you if anything happens.
Please. All right, we'll give you your last day.
Right.
Yep. Ron's just going to head outside after that.
All right.
Yeah.
It's too damn awkward in here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that's a 9-year-old? Motherfucker. That kid's 42.
He's been in noble training for a long time.
Also, trauma ages you.
Yeah.
So
this is like Toros may be having like an existential crisis. Oberon's having like a straight up Black Mirror moment looking at this child. Like, oh. Is this what it's like from the outside?
Toros. Actually,
On save?
actually, I'm going to need a really quick perception check from my boy Essa.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I don't like that.
Oh, thank God, it's not Toros. He's being clouded by tears.
Toros can't see through all these tears of rage and depression.
Actual
T might also mention that a good person to talk to next might be Liara, the master of the hunt in the town.
Mm-hmm. So Essa, with an 8, you do not hear the words that are whispered in the house.
Wait, does Essa have the highest passive perception?
Only Essa would have been able to hear this.
There's a fucking ghost in the house.
Oh,
it's
Mom!
totally
It's the
the
fucking mom!
It's
That
so
we
don't know.
It's my dead mom.
We don't know
Come
anything.
on.
No. I don't
Your
think it's your dead
stepmom.
mom. I think it's Micah's dead mom.
Oh my god.
Oh
Could
my
be
good
either.
god.
Or both dead moms.
Maybe they're chatting.
I-
Essa
They
can
could be
only
buddies.
Essa can only talk to wives.
Apparently.
Not allowed to
Only
talk to
talk to
anyone.
them.
Wives of
That's
Richmond.
Hey, so Jack, I know I didn't hear, but do I feel anything different in this house? Like when I like stepping from the outside in here, did I feel like something?
I'll say that perception check would have covered any spectral nonsense.
You were just like, ooh, chilly.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Um,
Well, no, what I'm changing about just fucking skills too when I get the chance.
it's gonna be a while.
No, I can do it every short rest.
You can change your
Yep,
expertise
We
and
can
all
choose
that.
one.
Not expertise,
Once-
but Whispers of the Day allows me to change proficiency with a skill.
Okay,
I'll switch it from
gotcha.
perception to perception.
All right.
Yeah, we get outside.
Yeah. You're outside. Toros is kind of sitting by himself.
T will
Keeping out
crouch
their
by
bed.
him.
Turning to the others, just. I really think that. And he's just going to turn to Edgar. What do you plan to do when you actually meet? If we can.
I'm gonna try to at least let them know who's coming soon. So they are aware of that. But if they are who they are, I'm gonna try to find out what I can.
You realize doing this is only going to connect even more dots to people.
Yeah. Which is why I think it might be best if you guys don't come with me first.
I can disguise my visage. Look like someone else.
That's true. You're still putting yourselves at a lot of risk if you do. See?
What, you going in alone? And I owe you like $1 million. But it's your choice.
I'm gonna go tonight. I'll let you all know that. I can't help it. I can't stop you if you want to come too, but I do not want you to feel like you have to. I'm hoping it's just a conversation and we're done.
Are you going to try to convince them to leave?
I'm gonna hear them out, find out why they're here. I'm gonna tell them what I know. And then I don't know. I'm not good at coming up with a plan and then sticking with it. So I don't want to say anything and then come back having lied to you all.
I think it's a bad idea.
Perhaps start with getting a room at the inn. And then I do think it's a good idea to talk with the woman who runs the hunting around here, Liara.
Mhm.
See if or what they know.
Toros, do you want to talk to... What was her name?
That one was to not cry. That one was to not cry.
That one was tonight. Puke.
All right. Toros has not been there this whole time. He has not been listening to any of this.
Toros, where'd you go?
He kind of acknowledged T sitting down next to him. You see, he definitely saw him like kind of like look over and like acknowledge her. You saw there was tears kind of like in his eyes, but you saw him like literally forcibly like trying not to like just holding it physically back.
The cop and
What?
party with Chance.
Yeah, literally. And you see his fist kind of clench for a second, like just he's like there's all this anger that suddenly just kind of flows into him for a second. He just kind of like dials it back the best he can, and then he stands up and he's just gonna start walking towards Malika's house.
Okay.
Huh.
Not a word. He's like, there's like a mix of like anger and like sadness, and there's a lot of emotion on his face, which is weird because he doesn't like to do that.
Mm-hmm. So
He
Taurus is
just gets
kind
up and
of
starts walking.
Taurus is kind of trudging along into a direction without telling anyone
Dude.
where he's going.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think he has to poop? If that face, he might have to poop.
Seen him do this face a couple times.
As he's going, Oberon's just. I think for this we may want to split up.
Perhaps.
If you three want to go to see the master, I'll make sure he doesn't get any. I'll make sure that he's somewhat level headed.
Okay.
All right. So you three are heading to find Liara, and then Oberon is tagging along with Toros.
As Toros is like marching, not saying a word, Oberon is going to like almost like step in front, like not like fully block his way, but definitely like step in, like impede his path a little bit. And just Toros.
You see, like he's really being. You've seen him mad before. You see, there's a lot of anger that's pushing him forward. But once you kind of interject him, he stops, and like you see the anger kind of like drop, and you see like the sadness hit his face, and the tears well up again, and he just, she's dead, Oberon. Why is she? What happened to her? I need to know.
Oh, I'm gonna roll something.
Oberon doesn't have any weird hang-ups about dead moms or anything.
Oberon like quickly like blinks real quick, but just we'll find out. We're meeting them again tomorrow. We'll ask questions before we leave. We'll get answers. He won't tell them to you. He'll tell them to me. I'll make sure. I promise.
You could know, though, Oberon. Malika, she's a lot bigger than before. She knows. Maybe she could tell me more information. Now I wouldn't have to go in there again. I wouldn't have to see him.
Do you want to hear it from her or from him?
I just want to know.
We'll ask. Keep your head a little bit clear.
I didn't think it would hurt this much.
You never do.
And like at this time, like the anger's really just fully dropped, and you just see like he's like almost slumped in his spot as like tears have started kind of rolling down his cheeks.
Oberon looks like he has no fucking clue what to do. But then like for a split second, like instead of seeing like this tiefling man in front of him, he sees this small little drow boy for like a split second before he like quickly blinks it away and just just kind of like put his hand on Toros's shoulder.
What if I caused this, Oberon? What if, because I ran away and I thought I was doing the right choice and I was selfish, what if I caused this?
Then you still have a chance to make it better.
There's a couple more tears, but he kind of just nods.
We'll take a minute. And Oberon like go to like if he can find any like maybe just like a like a vendor or something, and he'll buy like just like the closest thing that he can find to like a form of comfort food, like maybe a warm pastry or like a bowl of soup or something, like a bowl of stew, like something that would like, the closest thing to like a warm meal. And he'll buy it and then he'll like bring it to Toros and just we'll wait.
I like that plan.
All right, and I think that's where we ended for this episode of Dice Age.
Boy,